Welcome to My Healing is Your Healing, a podcast for the woman who's ready to stop performing and reclaim her voice. I'm your host, Celeste. And around here, we don't do surface level. We go deep. Each week, we'll explore concepts like self-discovery, radical honesty, and the kind of healing that rewrites your story from the inside out. This is a space for truth-telling, for remembering who you are, and for coming home to yourself, louder, braver, and more radiant than ever. So come as you are, and let's do this together. Let's begin.
Welcome back to My Healing is Your Healing, and I'm your host, Celeste. And today we're talking about something tender and necessary and wildly freeing. The fact that you can't carry everything that you survived this year into the next one. Some of these identities and patterns and relationships and expectations, old storylines, simply cannot come with you. Not because you're cold, not because you're heartless, but because they are too heavy for the woman that you're becoming. So today we're going to talk through a ritual for closing this year, a ritual for honoring what shaped you and releasing what you no longer need. This is for the version of you who feels that quiet whisper, I can't keep living this way. Or the louder one, I am ready for something new. This is for the part of you who knows that your old identity feels a little too small, that your life is stretching in ways that your old habits cannot hold, and your heart is ready for a different story. So today, we gather it all together, the grief, the relief, the nostalgia, the clarity, and we lay it down piece by piece so you can walk into the next season unburdened. Let's begin. So let's be real. We don't cling to things that hurt us because we're weak. We cling because they're familiar, they're comfortable. And familiarity feels safe, even when it's not. It is the devil you know versus the unknown that you don't. And when you've spent years, maybe decades, surviving a certain way, your survival patterns start masquerading as your personality. People-pleasing becomes, I'm easygoing. Overfunctioning becomes, I'm just reliable. And self-abandonment becomes, I'm just loyal. The truth is that we stay because the unknown feels threatening. Our nervous system trusts the predictable, even if it's painful. Outdated identities feel comfortable. This is who I've always been becomes a cage disguised as your home. We confuse loyalty with self-sacrifice. We stay to prove that we're good, kind, and devoted, even when it costs us our true selves. And we hold grief like it's a debt. Like letting go means all of those years didn't matter, that we wasted our time. But here is the truth that you know in your bones. You don't outgrow people or patterns because you're cruel. You outgrew them because you finally grew. You learned something new. You stretched, you changed. And then the life that once fit you now becomes too tight around the ribs. And that's not a failure, it's just evolution. It's a learning. And if you're wondering what needs to stay behind, start with the simplest, truest indicators. So I'm going to ask you to dig deep in this episode and think. If you can pause it whenever you need to, write things down, or just ponder aloud. What drains you instead of replenishes you? Anything that empties your energy faster than it gives you back. What shrinks you? Anything that makes you smaller, quieter, less honest, less alive. What keeps you looping in spirals? The same arguments that you keep having, the same dynamics, the same disappointments, the same almosts. What keeps you forcing or nudging life? Anything that you have to drag along with you, initiate or carry, fix or prove. What hurts your self-respect? What are you ignoring? Where are you ignoring your values or lowering your standards or breaking promises to yourself? Where can you not be your full self? Where are these spaces where you're performing or censoring your truth or waiting to be picked? If you're unsure, Imagine your life 1 year from now, or 5. Does this thing, this habit, this person, this pattern fit in that future life? If the answer is no, then it probably doesn't fit in your present either. So letting go is not clean. It is not a tidy, bye-bye, Felicia. No, it is a swirl of emotions that contradict each other. There's grief, because endings hurt. There's nostalgia, because not everything was bad. There's fear, because the unknown is humbling. There is emptiness, because space feels like loss at first. There's relief, because your body can finally exhale. And there's sacredness, because endings are rites of passage. Letting go creates a holy pause, a moment where you stand between the woman that you were and the woman that you're becoming. And don't rush it. Don't shame it. Don't bypass this, like we talked about a couple episodes ago, because this pause is the portal to getting there. All right. If you're able to sit with a journal, pause here and grab it. Or if you're driving or walking, just listen first and come back later. This ritual has 3 parts to it. Part 1 is a list of goodbyes. Write down everything that you are releasing. Be specific, almost maybe a little dramatic, but be deeply honest with yourself. Here's my list. Old loves and unfinished maybes. Friendships that only work when you perform. People-pleasing. Emotional labor that was never yours. Control. Exhaustion as an identity. My good girl mask. Self-doubt. Situationship crumbs. Chasing someone instead of choosing me. Overfunctioning. Worrying about who likes me. The version of me who settled. The version of me who tolerated inconsistency. The version of me who waited instead of initiated my own joy. Emotional reruns. And every story that starts with maybe someday. So write all of these out for you. Let it pour out. Okay, part 2 of this is a letter to the old you. I want you to write a letter to the version of yourself who lived this whole year. I want you to thank her, honor her, tell her what she got right, and tell her what she carried for you. Here's mine. Thank you for surviving the things I thought would break me. Thank you for holding the line when I had no strength left. Thank you for trying, even if it was messy, even when it hurt. I'm releasing you now. Not because you failed, but because you did your job. You got me here, and I don't need those old strategies anymore. This is not a rejection of the person that you were. It is a graduation. Okay, and then part 3. This is a new energy that you're declaring. I want you to write what you're ready to receive. So here's mine. Love that feels safe and steady. Friendships with reciprocity. Emotional maturity. Consistency. Rest. Expansion. Creative fire. Romantic clarity. Brave conversations. Softness. Abundance. Self-respect. Boundaries that honor me. Alignment. Joy without guilt. A relationship where I don't abandon myself. A life I don't have to escape from or numb out of. A nervous system that trusts my choices. And a season where everything is built from truth, not fear. Write your declaration as if you're standing in the doorway of the next chapter of your life. Because you are. We're on the cusp of a new year. And seal it with this truth. Release is not losing. Release is making space for what's about to happen next. You don't enter a new chapter by wishing or saying maybe someday. You enter it by putting down what your hands are too tired to carry. This year you learned, you grieved, you've expanded. You've survived things you didn't think you would get through. And now you get to choose differently. If you want support walking into your next season, if you're ready for a community of women who are also shedding their old identities, I would love to invite you to join the Radiant Women's Collective. We are beginning a year of becoming the second week in January. It's free to join, and no matter where you live, you have a seat in this circle. You can sign up through the link below or at myhealingisyourhealing.com. And remember, you are worthy of a life that fits the woman you are becoming, not the woman that you've survived as. Until next time, keep showing up, keep growing, and never dim your light.
Thanks for tuning in and being here, for healing out loud, and for walking this path beside me. If this episode cracked something open or helped you remember a part of yourself, pass it on and share it with someone you love. For more support, free resources, or the next steps to your journey, head over to my website, myhealingisyourhealing.com. And if you loved today's conversation, subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your words help this space grow and help more women find their way home to themselves. If I was your muse today, then my healing is your healing. Until next time.